All right, everyone, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Friday, April 12th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trade alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get into it today. So markets today, pretty good sell. Hit a good gap down and kind of erased pretty quickly really all of yesterday's rally. So kind of flushed right down into the first hour and a half into the lows and really erased that whole move from yesterday. What's going on? So we had basically more fears from Iran. There's lots of posturing going on. They're saying they'll retaliate if the United States gets involved. It helps Israel, this and that, the other thing. So you're seeing a huge surge in volatility. And vol sellers did not show up. Well, they kind of did a little bit. Now they're showing up at the end of the day. But we had two big spikes. VIX was up 23.25% at one point, I believe. And we saw a 19 handle for the first time since October. So big move here. If you want my honest opinion, I think SVXY and SVIX are kind of attractive here going into the weekend. This could age horribly, but I've seen this movie a ton of times where you sell hard into the weekend on geopolitical fears, nothing happens, and then the market gaps up 40 points Sunday night. Not saying that happens, but I would not be surprised if that's what happens. We're getting a little bit of bounce here. That's just short covering. I wouldn't make too much out of that. Profit taking. You just see, yeah, we'll probably close right around 51.25, which is kind of where we are. But in any case, big move. A little suspect that the market wasn't down more. Like I've been saying, I think we're still going to see some pinning effects. I don't really think we're going to have a ton of downside, at least until next Friday. But I will say that, those dealer buyback effects didn't really help. Like we had a little bit of a bounce here in the afternoon, tried to bounce again, and then we dipped down, got almost to 5,100. We did kiss the 50 moving average. This is minor. We have bear flagged inside bar above it. So we can, potentially dip down to 50-50 maybe early next week. But again, my general, like if I had to bet, if I had to gun to my head, I'd say they're going to gap this up. and we're gonna rally. That said, as well, noticing a theme here. I'm going to use the futures. I think it's easier to visualize it here, but we have lower highs, right? And every time we get into this area, we see dip buys, but the dip buys are getting weaker, and now we're smashing through this area. So I think rips are for selling now, and I think that's what institutions are doing. Could you get some dealer buyback effects next week with OPEX and pinning? Yes. Do I expect that? Yes. But I think rips are for selling now. Kind of already been in that camp, but I think this just confirms it. So also, first leg of a bear, any sort of bear retrace trend is always going to be the weakest. I'm expecting us to probably bounce in this area, even if we do inch down early next week. But again, a bounce from there, I think, is a lower high setup. It could be a favorable opportunity. So again, we got the sell signal a week ago. Outside move, engulfing candle. As long as we're below this high on a closing basis, that's in play. We did some technical damage. We've already talked about that ad nauseum. But that is the long and short of it. So again, right now, immediate near term, I don't think we're going to go down too far. I don't think we're going to have a ton of downside. I think that's coming a little bit later with those OPEX effects kind of holding us up. But yeah, they took care of them today, and vol sellers, they're running out. It's like, you can see them; they're back on their heels right now. So they did not get control of this market. If they had gotten control of the market here, we would have squeezed up hard. But they were unable to do that. Geopolitical fears are something that comes with uncertainty. Market hates uncertainty. It's not like a PCE print where the market, you can just shake it off. So that's kind of what's going on here. If nothing happens, I could almost guarantee you a rally on Monday, though. Qs here, again, showing a lot of relative strength, down 1.5. SPX down about the same, but take a look We are not below that breakdown bar, not really breakdown bar, but sell bar Thursday. You have like higher lows here too. So that's kind of my first other kind of piece of evidence that we're probably not going down just yet. We're not quite ready. But once we break this, that kind of opens the floodgates there on the Qs. But definitely a little bit stronger there. You got stocks like Meta that are just absolute pigs that refuse to go down. Amazon as well. Even Nvidia holding up pretty nicely today. Although the semis did get hit. I don't like that pattern there for SMH. But anyway, Q's a little bit more relative strength. IWM got crushed. Bonds were a bid today, and that did not help. I still think it probably gets a good bounce here at the 100. A lot of the time, third hit of the trend line, you do pierce it. So we'll see if it gets a bid there next week. But definitely on the weaker side today, down 2%. That took a pretty good hit. The diamond here down 1.3. That's into the 100 as well. You also have a little level right there. So I think diamond could get a bounce. Definitely good sell here for this market. We mentioned the semis, bearish at sidebar. I expect more downside there. Same thing with the stocks. 50 MA is minor. Why? Because we bear flagged above it. Semis in a little trouble. IGV started to fall as well. So as soon as that bar came into play, back check, we have kind of gone sideways and now we're going down here. So cloud a little bit weak as well. Dow transport's also weak. But again, weekly pattern still good as long as you're above that green. So that's still hanging in there. All right. Rates pulled back a little bit. I talked about this 2 days ago. I said the 2-year, and they'd all probably back off a little bit. That has happened. You get war fears, bonds are going to bid. Treasury's going to bid. And that did happen. But we knew the charts were going to tell. The charts told us that anyway, right? We're going to just blast through 5% like that. 5's backing off, 10's backing off, 30's backing off. I still think this wants 475 though. But it did back off today. XHB was down as well. That's how you know the market's in trouble. It's still holding the 50 MA. I'd say this could probably get a bounce here. Down just 72 cents. 50 MA is a little bit more major because we kind of bear flagged above it, but not close to it. So I'd say still look for lower highs, but it got a little bit off that low, and it's trying to hang in there. Still strong. BNQ, it's done. So this is a bull pattern until it's not, and we're closing below that. So I think REITs are in big trouble. You got some support here at 80, but that is a sign that institutions are bailing on it. So I would not try longs in this here. XLF also taking a hit. We had some bank earnings. JPM took a hit as well, slicing the 50 moving average without even a bounce. Wells down. Citi, Gap, and Crap. BlackRock reported as well. Pretty good outside move down there. We have Goldman and BAC, I think, on Monday. We talked about profit taking here. We're seeing that. And we saw it early this week too. This is your level right here on 40. Could get a bounce there. Right? They'll pivot. I think it wants that weekly 20 though. KRE. Surprisingly, this was one of the stronger names today. Like, we gapped down, but it hasn't made new lows. So go figure. I still don't like the weekly, as you know. Bear inside bar maybe starting to play out. KBE inside of the green. Still good as long as it's above there. And then XBD finally down and into the 50 moving average. Still think 560s here. Probably your target there. Oil made new highs intraday and then really good retrace. So not quite ready yet. I still think this could get to 90, 91, 92. Not sure if it will, but I still think it can. However, XLE, big outside move down. That may be done. XOP might be done. OIH might be done. I think these can be bought after a correction. I'm going to be looking to do that myself, but they may be done in the near term. CCJ, new highs, but no new closing highs. So it did pull back by the end of the day. Trend is still up, still strong. Same thing with URNM and URNJ. They're still in good shape, but a little bit weaker than CCJ right now. Nat gas, I'm going to use the K. So we held support here. What I like something it did today. So yesterday was awful, but sellers had momentum coming into today, and they could have blown through this support. But this morning, we had a breakdown attempt, and it failed. So nat gas still showing some fight. If it can hold this area, it could repair that chart and maybe move back towards 2. So nat gas holding up. Dollar index, dollar pumping, gold, bonds, silver. Although we'll talk about the metals in a second, they did reverse pretty hard. Very interesting morning today. Dollar index was pumping with gold. I don't know. Everybody's telling me the dollar's going down. I don't think so. It's a weekly close above that red. I didn't think we would do that this week. I did not think we would. I thought we would pull back here. So big move there. 107. Next level. Dollar yen on breakout weekly close. Probably nothing. Gold. Big reversal. Big tail. Local high is likely in. Same thing with silver. Got all the way to $30. I would look for this around 26 on a retrace. For gold, we'll just say 22, 25. GDX, big gap and crap. SIL, big gap and crap too. Platinum, big tail candle. Palladium, nothing burger. So metals, maybe putting in a local high. I would avoid them right now, but look to buy dips. Copper, new local high, but it did pull back as well. This is overbought. So first local support is at 415. All right, Bitcoin, a lot of volatility here. Pretty good sell. It did come off the lows. It's still holding this wedge and holding the 50 MA. We'll see what it does into the weekend. Big picture, weekly chart is fine. Nothing's changed. Short-term volatility, that's all. So markets, let's take a look here. So we're getting a little bit more of a bounce. It was like a Russell getting up there a little bit of a mixed bag. Semis coming in, some other things kind of moving around. But yeah, pretty good sell. I am skeptical of the VIX right now. If nothing happens over the weekend, escalation-wise, I think we're going to gap up. Maybe a gap and go. But be careful here getting too happy on the bull side. Lower highs here and lower lows now. And I think this market does want to go down. And I do think we need profit taking and de-risking. At least in the near term. We've had a big move. But I do think that downside's kind of capped at least through next week. After that, I think all bets are off for the next month or so. So we'll leave it there. Got about a minute left to the close. Markets are just kind of hanging in there. Anyway, I'll wrap up here. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all next week.